live from the Hollywood Improv, it's the Nighttime Show! With us, as always, our head writer, Matt Walker. I'm the voice of the Nighttime Show, Mike Black. With us this week, our very special guest, star of Marvel's The Runaways, Teen Wolf, and an upcoming film with Carol Burnet called All Together Now, Rhenzy Feliz. And now, the host of the Nighttime Show. The only Feliz he knows is Navidad. Put your hands together for Stephen Kramer Glickman!
Yeah! That's me!
I bet you weren't expecting that kind of intro, Rhenzy.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid intro.
Yeah, that got me by surprise, but I enjoyed that.
Yeah, Mike Black does not mess around.
It's like we have our own hype man on the podcast, just waiting.
I need one of those.
Yeah,
we all do. We really all do.
Yeah.
Rhenzy, it is so nice of you to join us and chat. You're just killing it, man. I mean, Runaways was awesome. Teen Wolf was awesome. And now All Together Now is going to be huge. This is going to be a huge, massive, giant movie.
I'm hoping. So, I mean, yeah, it's on Netflix. It's the first Netflix thing I do. It's one of their originals, and those tend to do pretty well. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the film we made.
Well, tell us about the film.
Yeah, it's about this. This girl who's going through a tough time, and I'm real bad at giving things. I hate giving things away, especially coming from like a Marvel show. I'm always so cautious as like to what I'm allowed to say.
I'll read you the synopsis that it's up on IMDb. It's an optimistic high schooler played by I don't want to mess up her name. Ali'i Cravalho, right? Who played Moana.
Yeah.
She's the voice of Moana. And she plays a high schooler with musical aspirations, which is fantastic because hopefully we get to hear her sing because her voice is insane. Yeah. And she learns from her friends, overcomes personal hardships, and fulfills her dreams. And the cast is just ridiculous. And you're a big part of this, man. Like, this must have been a lot of fun. What was it like working on this?
It was pretty awesome. Yeah, I'd give that synopsis like a 9.5 out of 10. That's pretty much it right there.
Good.
It was awesome. I mean, when I heard, I didn't know about the cast until the Deadline article came out about it, and like I was there next to Carol Burnet and Fred Armisen, and I was like, no way! How cool is it? Like on my first movie, you know, that I get to work with people who are like legends in the industry. So it was awesome getting to work with people like that, and then awesome getting to do this. I mean, I'm used to kind of like a TV pace where we are shooting as quick as possible because we got to get our day done and we have to get our episodes in and stuff. You don't get too much time on a movie. You get so much more time to perfect it because you're really trying to tell the best story you can in this hour and a half, and not necessarily over 10 hours like a Runaways season. And so we get to fine tune everything, which I really, really enjoyed. So it was like a dream getting to work on this movie.
So cool. How did you end up getting cast in it? What was the process like?
I guess that's a little bit of a semi-long story, but I'll give the short version. I got to know Brett. Brett did a movie called All the Bright Places just before this one, another Netflix original.
Brett Haley. Brett Haley is the director, writer, producer, but
the director.
He also did Hearts Beat Loud with my dear friend Mr. Nick Offerman, which is a terrific film, awesome. And he also did The Hero, which is also a great film, and All the Bright Places. I mean, this guy is on a freaking
is on a tear.
Yeah.
No, he really is, which is something that I was super excited. So when I got to meet him just before auditioning for the movie, he was casting for All the Bright Places, and one of my friends who's on the show with me, on Runaways with me, we were going out one night. I like the karaoke. We're all big into it. So we were out for drinks and karaoke and stuff. And she invited him because he lives in New York, but he happened to be in LA. She invited him. I got to meet him that weekend. And we just had like a couple conversations, nothing big, but he remembered me. I heard the news casting. I sent in a tape for one of the parts. Like 99% of the stuff that I auditioned for, I didn't end up getting it, but it was okay because he remembered me. And then he liked what I did. I just wasn't necessarily right for the part. And then he invited me to audition for this one, and it was all good. And then it sort of worked out the right way where everything sort of came together. I auditioned for it like anything else, I guess. Like, the audition came in, I go in, I do my sort of interpretation of it, and then I chemistry with Ali because they already had her cast. And I found out soon after that I got the part.
Wow,
which was very exciting.
What an amazing.
Did you get to work a lot with Carol Burnet in your scenes of the movie?
No. Most of she shares all her scenes with Ali.
Okay.
The lead of the movie. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I wish I would have gotten to, but no, it's more one-on-one scenes with her.
Oh, very cool.
What's who are you working with the most part on the film?
The most part it's Ali. It's her and I. We share like a little bit of a. Well, I don't want to give anything away, but you
sounds like a romance.
That
it's a romantic story, right?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a romance there.
Right. There we go.
Where we might like each other a little bit, and it's complicated because she's going through a tough thing, and I don't really understand what she's going through because she kind of keeps a lot of it in. But as the story goes on, we sort of we're real kind to each other.
Very cool.
I love it, dude.
That's going to be big.
That's going to be a big movie.
Because she's got a huge fan base. You've got a big fan base among younger people like me. I love Carol Burnet, so like anything she does, I'm down to watch.
Was there any actual romance on the set? Was there any? Was there a connection? Did they find a connection? I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, I mean, her and I, we got to know each other a little bit like a few weeks before we started shooting, which was pretty cool. We were the only ones there for the entire run of the movie, so we were there for like a month and a half up in Portland, and neither of us had been to Portland before. And so we got to hang out a lot, like as friends, but I'm not dating the girl either, so it's not like we had a thing, but it was fun. We got to hang out. Like, I genuinely love that girl, like, as a person. We still talk to this day. I mean, not that it was that long ago that we shot the movie, but
so awesome.
It's just it was awesome getting to shoot with her because I thought she's just such a talented girl. It's so amazing. She's such a good person that it was so much fun getting to be up there with her for that little bit of time.
Fantastic. Let's jump over to your the big first job. How did you get into the business? What was the leap in? What
was your big break there? Was that casual?
My first job, yeah, it was casual. That was the first thing I had done. I had literally just gotten my agent. It was kind of crazy. I had just gotten my agent.
How old were you?
I was 18. I had just turned 18. I was 2 months after I turned 18. I went and had my agent meeting at Abrams Artist Agency, December, right before the break. And right on the turn of the break, I ended up almost, it's like a little story. I ended up almost getting the first thing I auditioned for. I was so close on it.
What was it?
Yeah, I normally tell it whenever I'm telling the story, but I don't know if that's like a rude thing to do.
No. We've all been close and had weird things that ended up going some different way.
Yeah, it's a show called Queen Sugar. It's on OWN. It's on the OWN network. It's an Oprah. Ava DuVernay directed the show. She she had just come off of Selma. And so she was getting a lot of buzz.
Oh yeah.
And I got a call back, and I was like, I didn't even know what it was really. I knew what a callback was, but they're like, you're gonna be the director. I'm like, you tell me I'm gonna meet Ava DuVernay right now? Like, it's just it's the first thing I've auditioned for. It was crazy, and I was so nervous. But I go in and I meet her, and we do the thing, and that was awesome. Because they pinned me for it, and I didn't know what that means. I had to Google it, but my agent's like, yeah, they pinned you for it, they love you. It was basically means that you are very close to getting it. We want to hold you for availability.
By the way,
dates.
It used to be called being put on hold. And then they changed it sometime in the last 10 years to being like, you're pinned for this role, which is the dumbest term. It needs to go back to being on hold. It makes way more sense.
You know why they call it pinned is because they put a pin in your headshot and they stick it to the wall. Or they don't, because I'm an ancient elderly person, and that's not why they do it.
Now they'd have to stick a pin through the computer monitor to stick that to the wall.
Exactly.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I brought in a headshot and resume into an audition, but So yeah, I get pinned for that, and immediately I'm still in high school at this point. I'm still in my senior year of high school. I went to Santa Monica High School here in LA.
Okay.
And so I get the call that I'm pinned. Awesome. At this point, school can go to hell. I no longer
hilarious
because I'm going to be in New Orleans for 4 months shooting this show, and there's no reason why I care about pre-calc. Who gives? Miss Torres can go. She can go somewhere. And so I'm in class, and I'm really just screwing off. I really don't even care anymore.
You're like an NBA player, right after the draft, and you're like, I don't need to go to the school the last couple weeks.
Yeah. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
I'm going to be playing with Dwayne Wade in a second. Get out of my face. So this was peanuts to me. And so she goes ahead, and she's getting upset with me, like, hey, what are you doing? Like, you're kind of not doing anything the last few weeks. And I'm like, listen, you don't understand. I'm up for a show right now. Oprah's producing it. Ava DuVernay's directing it. I'm going to be a lead. I'm not going to be here. So you go ahead and you teach your class, you do your thing. Great. I'm going to do my thing. Let's just leave each other alone and not get in each other's way. And ends up, of course, fate has it, I don't get the part. I have about 32% in my pre-calc class, and I don't know what to do. That was like over the 2-week period, like just after January. Thankfully, I turned it around pretty quick. I go in and audition for Casual, which is a Hulu show, which I knew the first season got nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Comedy. So already I'm like, wow, this is like really high quality stuff. I know Jason Reitman is the producer / director on it. And so really cool stuff. He made Juno and Up in the Air, all these different kinds of films that I really enjoy. And so I'm like, this will be so cool. I go in and I hear that it's a 10 episode arc. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, that'd be awesome. It's like a huge part of the season. I audition, I get pinned for it, and they end up calling me, and of course I haven't done anything, so I'm not a part of SAG. They call me, hey, are you a part of SAG? And I say, no, I'm not, but you guys can help me with that, right? And that's my manager, my agent at the time, was like, yeah, they kind of really want someone who's SAG. They might go with someone else on this. I was like, no, what do you mean? And they're like, yeah, they said that they really need someone who's SAG, and so sorry, they liked you a lot. They loved you. That's good. It's good that they liked you. They're going to keep you in mind, but this one, maybe not this one. And I got sad. I was like, oh, no way. Like, here I go. I got close again on something, and it didn't work out. They call me. That was like, let's say that's a Thursday. They call me Tuesday the next week. And they're like, hey, so do you want to do this up? And I was like, the Casual one you guys said I couldn't do? Like, yeah, absolutely that one. They're like, I was like, oh my God, amazing. Yeah, I would love to. Like, okay, it's tomorrow. You show up, and this is the paycheck, and whatever. At the time, like the daily rate, I was like, that's insane. It was like I think it was like $1,000, $2,000 or something like that.
Just enough to pay your SAG initiation fee, basically.
Right. Yeah. Just enough to pay your way into SAG.
That went straight there. Yeah. And so they half-heartedly me, which is just the bypass to get into without being a SAG member. You get onto the show. I end up getting Casual. I'll do 10 episodes on that. And it was awesome. I was so nervous doing that show. I remember I would I wasn't going to school anymore because now I have to do it independently because I was on set a lot. And I remember I couldn't, as long as I was on my way to on set, I could not eat a single bite of food because I would. It's so weird. Whenever I get nervous, I get nauseous, and so I couldn't eat a single thing. I was already skinny enough. I must have lost 5 pounds just doing the show. And then, thankfully, at night I could eat. Whenever I came home, before I go to sleep, I'd eat then. And then it was like that. But it was nerve-wracking, but I had the most amazing time. Those people were so much fun.
You're missing out on craft services, like one of the best parts of being on a set.
Oh, I couldn't go anywhere near it. It was awful.
Yeah.
Hey, a quick thing I want to talk about, Mike Black. I think this is something that we really should talk about, and it's a company that was founded in 1983 in Tokyo, Japan. Of course, I'm talking about the Zoom Corporation.
Zoom.
Now, if it wasn't for Zoom, and Matt knows this, we would not be able to do our show. They make the best audio equipment in the world. Which one are we using right now?
We're recording onto a Zoom LiveTrack L8 right now, and when we go do our live events at conventions and stuff, we often use the Zoom H6, and they're both just fantastic pieces of equipment. You plug your microphones in, you plug your headphones in, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, whether you're a classically trained pianist or a run-and-gun filmmaker or a podcaster like us.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do a ton of podcasts, and I can tell by listening when they're using a Zoom and when they're not.
Yeah,
It's the mark of excellence.
It really is. Go check it. Go check out all their stuff over at zoom-na.com. That's zoom-na.com. Be professional, for God's sake. zoom-na.com. I want to talk about a third-generation, family-run business that I am very proud to be working with. Sennheiser is the top tier microphone company in the world, and we are so lucky that we are now recording our show using Sennheiser microphones and their headphones. It's awesome.
We're talking into Sennheiser MD42 microphones and using Sennheiser HD25 headphones, and these sound amazing.
I mean, listen to Mike Black's voice.
Listen to the rich and sumptuous soundscape that comes out of my voice.
Oh.
Every time I speak into a Sennheiser.
Absolutely. Go check out their microphones and their sound equipment over at Sennheiser.com. All right. Okay, let's get back to the show.
Now then, you went on to Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
Which is a show that...
Wait, what's the name of the show, Matt?
Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf?
Teen
Did
Wolf.
you say Teen Wolf?
I said Teen Wolf. Here's the thing.
Tyler Posey is a very sweet friend of ours, a friend of the show.
I don't get that show. I don't understand it because I watched Teen Wolf and I watched Teen Wolf 2.
We grew up. We are old, all right? And we grew up when Teen Wolf was
It's about
comedy,
a guy who played basketball and he turns into a werewolf and beats everyone.
Basketball, I know. Look, and then they made the 80s version, and then they made it into a real thing. Look, it's what they're doing with Sabrina.
Serious. Yeah.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch right now is a terrifying,
it's like a dark horror show, right?
Satanic thing, and people love it.
I just learned that Riverdale is Archie and Jughead. I didn't know that until like 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God, Riverdale's one of the biggest shows in the world.
I know. I didn't know what it was.
And it's like really, really dark.
Look. I know what the CW is because I watched that Penn and Teller show on there. But that's it.
For God's sake, Matt. Well, you were awesome on the show, man. Walk us through that. How did that end up happening for you?
Yeah.
I think I was still in high school. I had finished up casual a couple months back. I was sort of just doing kind of these competitions in LA at the time.
What kind of contests?
For high school students, like theater stuff, like monologue things.
Okay.
You'd go in. I ended up winning a couple of them, which was really boosted my ego and kind of my confidence a lot. In the acting stuff, because I had just started, I only started acting when I was 17 years old. And so I felt like I was so much further behind than everyone else who they've been in theater since they were kids. We've been doing musicals since they were that old. And so I felt a little bit behind, but in doing these little competitions, they've made me feel I'm beating out a lot of really good, talented people. Maybe this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And then Teen Wolf came along a little bit after that. It was actually a same day audition. I was just I used to live in Santa Monica, and I was sitting there doing nothing really. And my manager called me, and she said, "Hey, so down the street they're doing the audition for Teen Wolf. Why don't you memorize the lines and go in a couple hours?" I was like, "In a couple hours? Are you kidding me?" Yeah, okay, I'll do it. And so I sit down, I memorize the lines as quickly as I can. I get in my car, I jump over to the audition, and I could tell right away that they really liked what I was doing. And so I was like, okay, this is good. And I go home, and then they give me other sides. I get a call back, and they said, we kind of want a Terminator vibe. We want him to look like a sweet guy, you look like a nice guy, and young and sweet, but really just like a machine under there. I was like, okay, yeah, I can do that. And then I ended up coming back, doing it again, and I ended up getting that part. And that was super cool because that was such an established show already. Yeah, obviously, it's got a big name to it, and that was the 6th season, 100-something episode by then. And so to get to come on to such a well-oiled machine was really interesting.
I think it's like every CW show runs 150 episodes. They don't cancel anything. They just run forever.
Way, right?
What has your we got to talk about Runaways. We got to talk about working for Marvel and what this was like. But as part of that, I want to talk to you about this. How has this been in your life? Because how old are you now?
I'm 22.
You're 22 years old. 22.
So you've been doing this for 4 years.
You've been doing this for about 4 years, and you are crushing it. So What do you what are you doing for yourself? Like, what do you do to like enjoy it? Because
right now, probably nothing. But when there's not a pandemic, what would you do?
What have you been doing to like enjoy your success?
I'm a big guy on like experiences and stuff. So just before I did Runaways, right after we did the pilot, I went to Europe with my two best friends. I was 19 years old at the time, and they were both 18, so legal drinking over there. So we were having a ball. It was finally we got to go out and stuff. We went to Stockholm, London, Barcelona, Greece, and Florence. We went to 5 different places, and we spent like 3 or 4 days in each, 2 or 3 days in each city. And it was so much fun. So like things like that is what I want to do with my time. That was honestly the last time I traveled. I like to I take my friends to basketball games, to baseball games, to just like different things memories that we'll remember. So like that's sort of the way that I like to spend my time. Isn't necessarily on the material stuff, which I guess sounds like, I don't know, like I'm above it all. I'm not above it. I would like a nice car. I'd like a nice watch. I buy myself glasses too, like sunglasses. Of course I get things, but I find those things more enjoyable. That's all I'm trying to say. Because I find I'm big into UFC, into the big UFC fights, and so I've gone to one of those too. Take my dad. Just going to things. I have these huge events. I love that type of stuff.
Have you done any dating yet in the dating world of Los Angeles? What's that?
Do you have any celebrity girlfriends we can talk about?
Not at the moment. A single guy right now. But yeah, I've dated. I've had a girlfriend. I've felt love once. I think and then it's cold arms are now wrapped around me still.
I think I think it's important when you're actively in the business to stay out there, and if you can date anybody that is either in the business or understand, at least if they're not in the business, at least understands the business.
Because the schedules are crazy.
Yeah, because when you're dating someone and you're like, I had to kiss this girl on set, and they're like, oh my God, did you cheat on me today? And you're like, no, that's not. You're doing stuff where that could happen.
Yeah. I'm lucky. My first, the only real girlfriend I've had we were in like a year and a half relationship, and yeah, she was an actress too, so she got it. She understood, because I did have a couple love interests on Runaways, and there was never even like a slight issue about it.
That's so great.
So yeah,
That's awesome.
Exactly. You sort of do, if you are in the industry, it is helpful, at least someone who understands or is in it. Just so that those things don't become weird, because it really isn't. I mean, for the most part, it can get, I guess, romantic on set between co-stars and stuff. I've seen it happen. But if you have a relationship, I think I don't know. It was never that way for me, at least.
I would say
while I had the relationship, it was never.
Don't date your co-star because you have to see them every day. That can be a really bad idea.
And do not, I'm telling you this is from experience, do not date a tour guide.
At Paramount.
At Paramount or at any studio that you work at. Do not date a tour guide. It was a fucking nightmare.
They know where your dressing room is, and they can just show up and wait anytime they want.
I dated this tour guide, and then she would walk around and take people on tours, and she'd go, over here is where they shoot this really fun TV show, and everyone on the show is so nice, except for Steven Glickman, who's a real piece of shit. That is 100%, and she got fired because it got back to her boss that happened. That's the only reason I know, is because her boss called me and was like, I'm so sorry this happened. I was like, that happened? So, yeah.
Stay away from tour guides.
Date tour guides, okay?
Yeah, okay. Note to self.
Trying to help out. Trying to help out the youth.
Help the younger generation.
Listen, it is wonderful to chat with you. Where can people find you on the social medias?
My name, which is incredibly hard to spell, but it's R-H. The H really means... I've asked my mom, why put the H in there? My name's Rhenzy. It's R-H-E-N-Z-Y. A lot of people say Rhenzy, and that's like a big pet peeve of mine. I don't know why. Ramsey, I get Ramsey a lot, and it irks me. Maybe, I guess it's not my name, so maybe that's why.
No, makes sense. Rhenzy.
But yeah,
Rhenzy, and then your last name is
Feliz.
Feliz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as in exactly Navidad and cumpleaños, all those.
Cool.
And so, yeah, that's where you can find me. Honestly, I haven't been able to get into my Twitter for months, so you can follow it if you want, but I'm probably not going to see it.
What about the gram? You doing the TikToks? What's happening over there?
No, I stay away from the TikToks. I can't. It's not my world, I don't think. I am on Instagram. I check that regularly.
He doesn't want to lip sync and dance poorly, which is what
TikTok
not
my thing necessarily. I think. I mean, it has its place. I don't know. I'm not upset about it. People can do. If that's how you're going to make your money, that's how you're going to sort of do your thing. Do it. If you're happy, you're happy. But I like being in front of a camera or on stage. Really,
so the gram.
I don't know, finding some truth in something.
Instagram, that's the place to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Follow me on Instagram, Rhenzy Feliz.
Wonderful.
And if you're a tour guide, do not slide into his DMs.
Yeah, do not.
Don't do that.
Matt, where can people?
Well, you can slide, but I won't be responding.
No way. Matt, where can people find you on the internet?
I've got links to everything at funnymatt.com, or if you're upset, if you're like a hardcore new Teen Wolf fan and you want to tell me that it's a good show and that I should watch it, you can let me know at mattwalkersucks.com.
It is a great show, and mattwalkerdoessuck.com. You can always get me at Stephen Glickman, STPHEN Glickman, on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and the Facebook, all the places. Rhenzy, it is wonderful having you on the show, and congrats on everything. I cannot wait to see this
good
movie
luck.
later this month.
I want to see Carol Burnett. I look forward to watching it. So
yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Talk to you soon, man. Take it easy.
All right.
Stand up.